Hey, good morning, good day, everyone, and welcome to our weekly market outlook, where we basically look at tradable opportunities, or just market setup for the week, and see if we can spot tradable opportunities. Okay, so to begin, we'll just quickly jump in and look at the fundamental aspect for the week. So this is the first full week of the month. So we'll expect some high impact news still coming out. CPI reports should be on the 13th or 12th, between 12th and 13th of next week. So we'll see all of those fly out. So, but today being 5th, Monday, February 5th, we had the Fed chairman speak. That speech is already done. It's a high impact news. There's also a high impact news coming out by 4 p.m. Today, that's the ISM service PMI. It's currently expected to come out at 552.0. The previous was 50.6. We'll see what it comes out at. So basically, this period where you have red news, so I like to call them red news, they are high impact news, and they could affect, the market in a very aggressive way, depending on the outlook, but depending on the actual result of the economic metric. Okay, so most people might look, if you have it, most people try to trade the news and maybe buy stuff, sell stuff, or something like that. Personally, like I always keep telling you guys, I don't trade the news, right? It's not what it's in my opinion, but some people have found it to be profitable for them. So very good and fine. But for me, I don't trade the news, but I respect the news and pay attention to the news. The news can serve as catalyst, and move price in my way, or you could also irrationally move price the other way. Okay, so usually I pay attention to the news such that I don't look to get into position at those exact time, and I look to manage myself around the news. But I do like the news because I do like high impact news because it actually injects liquidity or volatility into the markets, pushing the market in the direction that it actually really wants to go all along. Okay, so but on Tuesday, we have lots of high impact news, the cash rate from the Reserve Bank of Australia. We also have that same high impact news from the NZD, the unemployment rates, and also the Canadian Bank of Canada governor would also be making a speech, which is going to be sometime around 7 p.m. on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, there's no high impact news, just some medium impact news. But pay attention to the FOMC speech by Backlin, because that could be one to watch, okay? And then on Thursday, we have the unemployment claim from the US. And then on Friday, we also have wrap up with the unemployment claim from the Canadian economy. Okay, so that's basically what we'll be looking at in terms of the fundamentals for the week. And I will jump over into the actual price movement for our structure. Okay, so let's actually look at the DXY. So the DXY is the dollar index. Okay, it measures the strength of the dollar against the major baskets, so against its major baskets. So you notice here, sometime last week I mentioned to you guys, I think it was last week report, I mentioned to you guys that the dollar has been quite bearish, has been bearish, very bearish, relatively for a while. And right now you can see I still have my annotations on my chart as it's where from the last time we discussed this. I labeled this protected high. I also labeled this area, and I said this area, if the price wants to continue going down, we would see that movement from here. We would see the rejection from here. And if price rejects this area, we are most likely going to see price drop down to this point here. I don't know how many of you were in the class anyway, you can go back to, you can also rewatch it if you're watching this on the YouTube, and you'd see what I mean. So I mentioned that if we, if price hold, if this area fails, if price holds this level and price buyers fails to get price above this area, chances are we are more likely to see the markets come down to this, what I call my daily liquidity targets. On the other hand, I also mentioned the fact that this area here is a protected high. And what sellers don't want to see is for price to break above this. Now, if we have a break above this, let's say daily break, better still, a weekly break above this area here, then I can categorically tell you that the dollar is looking very strong for the buys to the upside. Okay, so right now we're looking like the dollar, after the NFP news for Friday, it's looking like we're going to see this breakout. But until that happens, it's still just what you call it, it's still just expectation. Okay, so But right now, I'm not going to bet against the dollar. That's just basically what it means. I want to see clear direction. And so gold, which I was looking for opportunities to buy, right now I'm doing nothing with gold. So I'll show you some of the trades I took on gold. Those of you who are on the Continent Trading Room, you know that one of our classes and actually some of the trade signals that I sent out, we're looking to buy gold. Okay, so let me just go down to the smaller time frame here. You'll see some of the trades that I personally took. I sent out some of these trades idea here. So I had a buy trade here. Fortunately for me, they were all, so I took 3 trades around this area. I took my first partials and they all came back to, they all ended up coming back to take me out at break even with the exception of this one. So I ended up closing full TP on this one here. Around here. So when price started breaking down, I had my stop loss adjusted to here. And so this, because we had the news coming out around this point, so I had my stop loss adjusted to here. And then when price rejected, so that's why I took out full TP here for about the 1:, basically I've already taken partial, but somewhere around 1:4 in total. Okay. Well, you've seen that I was looking for the bullish side, for the bullishness in gold. That's basically the point I was trying to make out to you guys. I was looking for the bullishness in gold all through last week. And I mentioned that to you guys last week as well. Okay. So, however, sorry, somebody says they can't hear anything. Can all of you, can the rest of you guys hear me? However, you need to check your mic. I think you're not connected. Okay. So back to what we were saying. So right now, like I mentioned, I don't want to be a buyer. Like I'm not, because of the way the dollar is reacting or the way the dollar is acting. Let me just check here. Oh, yeah. Okay, so because of the way the dollar the dollar index is showing strength, well, I don't want to be looking to short the dollar. So that's why I'm staying away from looking for opportunities on gold. And I'm not going to try and look to sell because the overall direction that I'm looking for on gold is for buy opportunities. So until the bullishness comes in, there's really not much for me to do here. I don't want to try and force sales into this market. Okay. I'm still looking for the target for price to run up to this, my liquidity target area that I highlighted here. Okay. So I'm still looking for price to run up to this area here. But because price is now currently showing bearishness, I'm not going to look to do anything with this one. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so basically the dollar pairs like gold, like say USD, Euro USD, GBP USD, they're all looking they're all looking bullish, sorry, bearish. They're breaking through some critical levels. So if you look at GBP USD, for instance, you'll notice that if we just follow price, if we just track the lower lows and the higher lows and higher highs of price, you see that this is the higher low, this is the higher low, this is higher low here. This is the higher low, and where I think we have the last higher low here. Think so. You can always measure. Okay, so basically this is also looking somewhat similar to the DXY, but in the opposite direction. Okay, so price is at a critical area. If we get a daily close, right? So if we get a daily close below here, then chances are, we'll see this thing fall even further. Okay, currently it's already breaking below, but we want to see a daily close. Now, I'm not looking to short this market, not yet at least, until the bearishness begins to come in. So what I would like to see to get involved is to see price pull back, break down, pull back, and then reject it. And then I might start to look for sales to this new lows. But as from where we are now, I'm not going to try and force sales into this market because there's also the possibility that price just fix out from here and we have a long weak candle that end up rejecting up. But overall, I'm looking for the buy side. So that's why I'm not looking to force to force sales into this market. Okay. Now, same thing for Euro USD. I don't have to go over it because it's quite similar. Euro USD, this is the protected low for Euro USD. So you can see how this lines up. It's inversely proportional to the DXY. Okay, so it's very close to the protected low. For DXY, it's close. It's price is close to breaking the protected high. So I was looking at this area here, looking for, so yeah, I was looking at this region here, looking for reasons to buy. I got involved in a trade here. I think I ended up with a -1. I got it, but and that trade is sound. It's just right now the market is, after the NFP release news for Friday, we're having price breakdown. So this breakdown here, if we break below this low, then we could see Euro USD fall even deeper, right? On the other hand, if price failed to break below this low, there's a good chance we could see an aggressive move back up. And if we see that aggressive, if we see that, if we see strength begin to come into this market, chances are we're going to find our way up here within the coming few weeks. But right now, it's in no man's land for me, right? I either want to see price clear this low and then look for context to trade it down, right? Or I want to see price show bullishness and then I'll look to buy it to the top. So either way, I'm good. But right now, I'm not doing for this week until a clear direction is determined. I'm not touching Euro USD. I'm not touching GBP USD. I'm not touching AUD USD or even gold, right? Now, but what this also means is, for me, is I like the yen pairs. Okay, so I like all the yen pairs, so all the XXXJPY pairs. I am interested in looking for the buy side, right? So for instance, USD JPY, I'm looking for longs. GBP JPYs, I'm looking for longs. AUD JPYs, looking for long. Not really Euro JPY. I don't like the setup for Euro JPY, but CHF JPY and CAD JPY, I'm all looking for the longs on them. Okay, so I'll just quickly take one or two of them and show you exactly what I'm anticipating in this space. So you'd see that for a long time, I have my liquidity targets here. Price came down, rejected that area, and it's pulling back down. And now you can see that we'll begin to break back up. So this is, this is an already established bullish market that is now shifting back bullish. So beautiful. We have this big, what you call it, engulfing candle here. Obviously being triggered by Friday's news release as well. But for the week, what is the anticipation? Now, you can see, so let me go down to the 4-hour time frame here. So on the 4-hour charts here, so on the 4-hour chart here, you can see that we are currently at this level here, this area of influx here, right? So now one of two things could happen, but because of the context of this market, I'm actually looking to buy this. I'm looking for opportunities. I'm not looking to sell this, right? The context of the market is bullish. It has established that bullishness. The 4-hour has shifted bullish. And we are still within the bullish frameworks. I'll show you that this is a low, right? This was the previous break here. And so this is the high to the low, to the high, to the low, to the high, okay? To the low and then the high. So we broke down once, we broke down twice, and now we broke back up again. Okay, so this is what I would like to call reaccumulation. Price is reaccumulating because it's posting higher highs, basically higher lows, and then it's gone back into a bullish mode. So it's reaccumulating, and it's a bullish sign for me, basically. And because the overall context of the markets from the higher time frame is also bullish, I'm interested in looking for buying opportunities. I know a lot of people will look at this and say this is double or triple top, those kind of fancy things. And sure enough, the markets could obviously push back down. But from my standpoint, the way I'm looking at this, I'm only interested in the buying opportunity in this. Now, what is one way you can look to trade this? Well, one way is you can actually place a buy stop above here, put your stop loss down here, or you can just wait for price to break above here on the 4-hour time frame, then look for the internal structure. I taught you guys MTFA, that's multi-time frame analysis. Now you can use the multi-time frame analysis concept to look for setups on the 1 hour or the 15 minutes or the 30-minute chart for the structure and the bullishness. So on USDJPY, I'm looking for buys on this one. The market looks sound. It's showing bullishness, and I just like the new break that we just had here. So it's a good one. I will be looking for buys if price comes back up here. So something, if price we have to find its way back up here, I'll probably look for the buy setups, although not necessarily with this because it's 4 hour. I don't do my entry on the 4 hour, but something of this nature where I go down to the time frame, my time frame of entry, and look for buy opportunity in this market. Okay. So if we take GBP, no, let's not take GBP JPY. GBP JPY is not as clean, so let's look at CAD yen. So CAD yen is also very similar to USD yen. Okay, price is bullish, shifted bearish, and now shifted back bullish again, and we are leaning at this area here. So you can see this is that similar type of movement where prices appearing to be rejecting the area. But for me, this is not. I'm not looking to sell this market. I'm only looking for the context to come back in, or the order flow to come back in for me to look for the buys in the market. So for basically my general overview for the week, the pairs I'm going to be looking at actively for trading opportunities are actually the yen pairs. What I'm looking for on all of them is for buy opportunities. Now, some of them are setting up quite nicer than some. Some of them are probably not touched like euro yen, but all of them in general are setting up quite nicely to the upside, okay, to the bullish side. And I'm going to be looking for that context. I'm going to be looking for the context to come in for me to get involved in the trade. I've not taken any trade for the week. The last trade I took was on Thursday, which was a beautiful trade on gold. And that took me out on Friday for about 1:5 in total on the trade. Okay, but for the week, no trade setup looks quite nice. I'm just waiting for context to come into the market and then look to participate mostly on the yen pair. So yen pairs are my pairs for the week that I'll be looking to trade. So, and I'm looking for the buy side. So CAD yen, if I go down to the let's look at the 1 hour time frame here and see if we can spot context here. So just looking at this here, you'd see that, let's just take from this actual low here, right? We are basically within this range. So depending on your own system, the way you look to trade, your context of trading, you can even just have a fib drawn out like this, have your maybe 61.8 or 78.6 fib level and look for buy setups from there. Now, for me, what I would like to see, or maybe you're a counter trend line trader, so you have your trend line drawn out like so, and you wait for markets to break back above the trend line to break the upside to something like this, or if price, breaks above, we test, and then you look to buy. You can now protect your stop loss below here, and then look to trade based on your RR, maybe 1:2 or 1:4. But for me right now, what I'll be looking for, one of the things I'm looking for in all of this space is context. I need the context to shift back bullish, right? So I would like to see, so what mostly aligned to this is, either price pull back down to an area of interest, like a leftover order block, like something like this, right? An imbalance with an order block. Or you see price begin to shift back bullish on a smaller time frame, like 15-minute time frame. Are we also interested in looking for that opportunity? Something like this would be a phenomenal trade. So maybe, look for the trade, something like this, where this is like a 1:4. Now, obviously, I won't just put the buy stop here. What I would like to see is if price comes down here, I want to see rejection, then I'll look to buy. And then my target obviously would be here, but my stop loss would now be at least, at most, below this low. But if price begins to push away from here, the context could change. And, I could have a situation where I'm entering something like this, and then my stop loss would be something like this. This will actually be a much better RR than just the other one. So, but in all, I'm waiting for the context to align. I'm waiting for price for the money to flow into the market in the direction that I'm looking at them for. Okay, so all the yen pairs, they are looking quite interested for the buy side. Okay, the USD pairs, I'm not really doing anything with them because I'm just waiting. I want to see clear context coming. Okay. So let's look at a number. Let's look at some fuse GBP, Euro GBP. I've not touched this one for a while. Let's look at, I was trading GBP CAD a few weeks ago. Price shifted back bearish, or shifted bearish. Okay, so nothing for me to do here. And last but not the least, let's look at AUDCAD. So AUDCAD is looking quite bearish. It's looking very bearish, not even quite, looking very bearish. We were bearish, it shifted bullish, and now shifted back bearish. So probably we had some redistribution here on the higher time frame, like the weekly, and price is looking to shift back. So looking at this, I'll assume that the overall target would be down here. I think price probably wants to get down there. I'll call this liquidity targets. So it's now about looking for if we can find setup to trade. So 4-hour time frame still bearish. We're expecting other blocks. 1-hour time frame still bearish. Okay, so the 1-hour time frame. Okay, so I'm just going to highlight a couple of areas to watch for sell opportunity there. Okay, so that's going to be one of them. Actually, that's just going to be the only one. So what I would say here for AUDCAD, let me just see this. Yeah, so we had the break structure here. Okay, this, yeah. The protected line. Okay, so for AUDCAD, looking for sales on this one. So one of two things, either wait for price to come back. There's no reason, there's no guarantee that price will come back up here. It doesn't have to. But if we get a pullback to this area, I'll look for sell opportunities to take this back down. Otherwise, I'll just wait for you can see that this is a big rejection candle, right? A big rejection move in the market. And then you can see we are having this kind of bullish movement. So what I would like to see, so if you go down to the 15 minutes, you'll see this better, right? So let me do that. If you go down to the 15 minutes here, you'll see this better. So you can now see that. So this here is the big bearish push. However, you can now see this intermediary bullishness. So higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. So because we're looking at the context of the market is bearish and we're looking for selling opportunity here, one of the things I'll look for is either if price continues to just make this higher highs and higher low, and then it gets to this area that we are interested in, right? So if it gets here, what I would like to then see is for what I'd like to then see is for price to now begin to shift bearish, right? So you can now see we are having lower lows, lower highs. So, but there's no guarantee the price will get here. So we cannot just keep waiting or sitting on our ass. What we can do is just obviously set our chart alarm, and if price gets there, beautiful. Otherwise, we just follow price in the sense of if we keep making higher highs and higher lows, and then we'll break down and make a lower low and a lower high, then we can start looking for those sell opportunities within these areas to take price down. Okay, so I hope you get the drill, right? So we're looking for basically what I taught you guys on MTFA, where we're waiting for the context to shift back in the direction of the overall direction we want to trade the markets for it to serve as confirmation. And then we look to enter based off that reasoning. Okay, so AUDCAD looking for sales on this one. So either price comes here and we look for setting opportunity, or if price begins to break down now. So notice that on the 15-minute time frame, this is the protected low. Okay, so if price, okay, let me use a straight line. This would be the protected low. So if price breaks down from here like this, then I'd actually be interested in looking for sales if price start pulling back up and we have a rejection like this. So if price breaks down, make a new lower low, and then I'll be okay to begin to look for sell opportunities on this market. Okay. So those are quick market overview for the week. Market outlook for the week. We looked at a number of pairs. Some of them not really doing anything, especially the dollar pairs. At least they're doing a lot. They're doing things though, but they're not setting up as well for my own, at least for me, based on the way I look to trade. But like I mentioned, all the yen pairs, I'm looking for buy opportunities on them. But for the others, well, like AUDCAD, I'm looking to sell once the contest begins to get into shape. Okay, so that's our session for today. Hope you guys enjoyed the class. Please do feel free to leave a comment down below. Let me know what you feel about this session, and also leave thumbs up if you enjoy it as well. Okay, so I don't know if any of you have questions or something just quickly that you want to chip in or throw in. You'd like me to tend to, maybe you want me to look at a particular instrument. I can just take one of those. So feel free to put that down below. Okay.